In this video, we're going to learn how to count the number of digits in an integer using recursion with Python. So if we have an integer, like say for example 472, we can determine the number of digits in this integer by dividing it by 10 and then taking the quotient and dividing it by 10 and continuing this process until we get a quotient of 0. So for example, if we divide 472 by 10, what we'll get is 47, remainder 2. Then we take the quotient 47, and if we divide 47 by 10, what we'll get is 4, remainder 7. Then if we take the quotient 4 and divide it by 10, we'll get 0, remainder 4. And because it takes 3 divisions to reach a quotient of 0, this tells us there are 3 digits in the number. So now let's create a recursive function to solve this problem. A recursive function is a function which calls itself. We'll call the function count_digits, and the function will accept a number as an argument. So we'll have the parameter number here. Now the way a recursive function typically works is by solving part of the problem to be solved, and then calling itself with a smaller remaining portion of the same problem to be solved. We'll have the countDigits function count one digit in the number each time it's called with return 1 plus. Then we'll have the function call itself with the quotient after dividing the number by 10. So that way the function is passing itself a smaller version of the remaining problem to be solved. So we'll have countDigits and we'll have the number divided by 10. And here we're using integer division in Python. This division operation is going to return the quotient of dividing this number by 10. Now eventually we do want the recursion to stop. So once we divide the number and we get a quotient of 0, at that point we want the recursion to stop. We want the function to stop calling itself. So we'll check for that. We'll have here, if the number divided by 10 is equal to 0, then we're just going to return 1 because we've counted the last digit in the number. We could now test this function out. Down here, we'll call countDigits and we'll pass the function 472, and then we'll output the return value using print. If we save the program and try it out, we'll get here a count of 3, which is correct. Now we call this step here where the function stops calling itself the base case or the base step. We call this step here where the function calls itself recursively the recursive step or the recursive case. So this is how we can count the number of digits in an integer using recursion in Python. Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers.